International Women's Day is a day for honoring the accomplishments of women the world over. We at the International Women's Meditation Center developed the Outstanding Women in Buddhism Awards in order to promote the accomplishments of Buddhist women. In the year 2014, this event was held in Chonburi, Thailand, at the Buddha Sawika Foundation. The following are the biographies of the award winners. Bhikshuni Dr. Kimle Khalsang Somo of the United States of America. Venerable Bhikshuni Dr. Khalsang was born in South Vietnam, a country afflicted by civil war for many decades. After South Vietnam was defeated in 1975 by the Viet Cong, she lived under the communist regime for 4 years and determined to make the great escape for freedom. Together with 300 plus young, elderly, and infant fellow Vietnamese people, they made their journey by sea on a fishing boat in hopes of finding a better life abroad. The full story of her life and intense trauma and horrific story of the escape is retold in her book, Path of Compassion, which is available on Amazon.com. Venerable Dr. Khalsang arrived in America penniless, familyless, and spoke very little English. Although she had already practiced traditional medicine in Vietnam, she had to be requalified by the American standard. Healing is her second nature. Therefore, with determination and perseverance, she worked hard to obtain her credentials needed to open a private clinic in Winter Park, Florida. During her Chinese medical practice, she recognized that a large population of Floridians wished to have natural healing but could not afford the payments and were not covered by insurance companies for alternative treatments. She tested the democratic process and with many letters of petition from her patients, lobbied the local congressperson to sponsor an insurance bill in Tallahassee, Florida, which passed in just 2 years. Coming from a country of war and subsequently tumultuous family dynamics, Venerable Dr. Khalsang understands human pain and suffering. She therefore extended her care beyond the clinic's 4 walls. She traveled worldwide helping people. In Hue, North Vietnam, she built a facility for handicapped children. In Nepal, a center for blind people. In India, schools, and she provides medical care for the ordained Sangha. During the past 20 years, she has led spiritual retreats, Dharma discussions, holistic health workshops, and Qigong seminars worldwide. She is a published author of dozens of books on spiritual development and self-healing. She was the keynote speaker for Women of Peace in Torino, Italy, a featured speaker at the World Congress of Religions in Cape Town, South Africa, interviewed on television and national and overseas radio broadcasts. She was featured on the front cover of Holistic magazine in Florida, Oasis magazine in South Africa, and the Sunday newspaper in Orlando, Florida, Colorado, Arizona, and Oregon. Although her clinic experience had great success in helping people heal themselves, she also realized the empty and fleeting nature of power, fame, and money. They are not the true peace and freedom. So when Khenchen Galtsen Rinpoche visited her meditation center, she requested ordination, and she was granted. In early 2009, with the boundless blessings of her root guru, His Holiness Penyor Rinpoche, she closed her clinic, retired, and entered into a 3-year traditional Tibetan retreat. After the completion of the retreat, Venerable accompanied Khenchen Iha to a teaching tour in South America. Subsequently, she spent several months teaching and guiding her students in Peru and Chile until she departed for Malaysia in 2013. Her life mission is to spread the precious Dhamma, to serve humankind, and to evolve spiritually. Bhikshuni Annie Drupgudma of the United States of America. Bhikshuni Annie Drupgudma is a fully ordained nun, a Bhikshuni of the Vajrayana tradition. She is a Dhamma teacher. Bhikshuni Drupgudma is known for her deep insight, great vision, and fruitful efforts. She founded and directs the Flower Dance Temple and Bear Paw Monastery in upstate New York, USA. As an abbess, she directs the spiritual practice of female and male practitioners in the cultivation of wisdom and compassion at her wilderness monastery. She teaches her students to hear the cries of the world and to respond. As such, she founded and also directs the Sisters of Compassionate Wisdom, which is an organization of Buddhist women, as she sees Buddhist women's need for companionship and assistance worldwide. Her practice community is solitary and communally supports the development of the fourfold Buddhist Sangha and protects all sentient beings and living beings in their forest sanctuary. Bhikkhuni Drugma and her followers believe in the healing benefits of a life amidst nature and therefore make wilderness practice or forest meditation as a peace offering to this world. Bhikkhuni Ming Hui of China. Bhikkhuni Ming Hui was born into an industrial family during China's Civil War and introduced to Buddhism by her mother, a schoolteacher and a devout Buddhist. Her father graduated from Huangpu Military Academy and was a high-ranking military leader in the KMT government. After a short stay in Hong Kong in 1950, her pregnant mother took her and her brother back to May County, China, and in the same year her father followed the withdrawal of KMT Army to Taiwan. Since then, she and her family were separated forever from their father. Fearing that any connection with her father would bring disastrous discrimination in the following years of political turbulence, her mother had to cut off correspondence with him. Her grandfather gave them refuge at his home, but his private business was soon confiscated, and they had to live together with their aunt, who was raising 6 children on a small income. Altogether, 9 children depending on 2 women's work. In the daytime, they did laborious farm work. At night, her mother took up sewing to earn extra money. The image of her mother working in the dim light in the coldest winter and hottest summer is still vividly in her memory. As Bhikkhuni Ming Hui tried to share some of the hardship at her tender age, but her mother died of overworking at the age of 56. The impermanence of unfortunate personal life situations strengthened her aspiration to relieve people from suffering. She actively participated in the Buddhist community while directly studying Buddhist sutras. After China's religious policy was relaxed, she helped reclaim property for a lay Buddhist association. She was elected as its head in 1980. Later, she went on a 1-year pilgrimage before she formally became a disciple of Master Fu Yuan in Yumen Temple. During those days with her master, she assisted him in saving historical inscriptions and prepared paperwork. Thus, the secular Hao Hui Zien grew into the Zen Buddhist Ming Hui. Building monasteries and nunneries became an inseparable part of her life in the following decades. Soon after, she formally accepted the discipline of precepts at Yunju Mountain Temple in 1985. She moved to Donglin Nunnery to practice Zen while living a rural lifestyle. During that time, she helped with rebuilding the old nunnery. The most important part of her life has been devoted to the construction and management of Thousand Buddha Pagoda Temple in Meizhou. The 2 other monasteries Bhikkhuni Shikha Ming Hui helped to rebuild are Daju Temple, completed in 2003, and Xiang Yun Temple, started in 2008. She not only expanded the physical structures, but more permanently renovated the long-lost tradition of Zen practice in Meizhou. The Dharma training program started to teach Buddhism in 2000 and was accredited by the Bhikshuni Department of Yumen Buddhist Institute 6 years later. In May 2004, she led resident bhikkhunis on a trip of mendicancy through which they re-experienced the ancient Buddhist tradition and increased public confidence in Buddhism. In 1999, Bhikshuni Ming Hui organized the Buddhist choir and started to use singing performances to reach a larger population. In her temple, lectures on traditional culture and Chinese classics are offered on a regular basis. From July 2007, A retreat camp for college students has been a yearly event. A Vipassana meditation training program started in June 2006. With the meditation building completed in 2010, Bhikshuni Mingyu is now able to provide a retreat for 250 people at the same time. Bhikshuni Minghui founded the Institute of Zen Culture of World Hakka City in Meizhou in 2012. She holds the positions of Director of the Chinese Buddhist Association, Vice President of the Guangdong Buddhist Association, and President of Meizhou Buddhist Association, to mention a few. Her international exchanges include attending the World Peace Dharma Conference in Korea, One Flower, One World in 1993, the World Buddhist Sangha Council meeting in Indonesia in 2001, and the first World Buddhism Forum in Hangzhou, Zhejiang, China in 2006. Bhikshuni Chulong of Taiwan. Bhikshuni Chulong is the network hub of Fo Quan Shan. She designed and transformed Fo Quan Shan into a systematic and highly efficient organization. Bhikshuni Chulong is also a great human resource developer, as many people are trained by her or the system she developed. She is the Secretary General of the Buddhist Light International Association of Taiwan and Vice President of Beautiful Life Television, Chairperson of Japan Motso Temple, and President of Fo Quan Shan's Foundation for Buddhist Culture and Education. In 1983, she received the National Good Person Good Deeds Award, and she was assigned as Honorary Parole Officer by the Taipei Juvenile Courts in 1983 to 86. Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs honored her as Friend of Foreign Affairs in 1999. She became a Buddhist novice in 1969 with Great Master, Venerable Xinjun. Later, she received Bhikshuni ordination at Keelung Hai Hui Temple. In 1974, she went to Kyoto to attend Japan Bukkyo University to study social welfare, and she graduated. In 1998, she received an honorary PhD from the University of the West. She helped Fo Quan Shan develop social work and founded the Great Mercy Children's Home, Cloudwater Mobile Hospital, UI Disaster Relief Group. She served as the abbess of Taipei Pumen Temple. She formulated Buddha's Light International Association. It later grew into the Buddha's Light International Association. In 1996, Bhikshuni Chulong went to Los Angeles, California to run Si Lai Temple. She formed Buddha's Light Television, now known as Beautiful Life Television. This TV station began its first broadcast on December 14, 1997. She has served in numerous roles at Fo Quan Shan since its opening, and even as the curator of the Fo Quan Shan Buddha Memorial Center. Bhikshuni Chan Lien of Taiwan. After adopting Chinese and Tibetan Buddhist traditions, Master Chen Lien took retreat to study the Buddhist teachings in various main Buddhist schools and meditated in graveyards. With excellent cultural and art literacy, she lectures around the world to several tens of thousands of disciples and students. Her lecturing includes schools, prisons, and various groups. Bhikshuni Chan Lien discusses the philosophy of life with teachers, students, prisoners, and those of all walks of life. Bhikshuni Chan Lien actively participates in social work, assisting those with impaired vision, body, hearing, and mentally challenged, and even the elderly. In addition to helping people cultivate compassion, kindness, knowledge, virtue, and wisdom, she is enthusiastically concerned about public welfare and facilities for the physically and mentally challenged to further advance their study and practice. so that they are able to realize the teachings of the Buddha in their daily lives. As a result, Master Chen Lien has gained excellent results and respect from the differently abled and social welfare groups, and is recognized as the mentor of the blind, the mentor of the differently abled, and the mentor of public welfare. In 2002, Bhikshuni Chan Lien was granted an honorary doctoral degree in education by the Korean International Culture University, and was invited as serving as their honorary president of Nanjing Yida Education College. In terms of education, she studied at Mindao Senior High School and then at Xichen University in the Department of Social Work. Then at the Chinese Culture University, she took graduate training in Chinese Studies and earned her honorary doctoral degree from the Korean International Culture University. She is the permanent mentor of the Cultural Center for the Blind, founder and president of the Buddhism Journal for the Blind, founder of and dean of the Prajna Buddhist College, and chief editor of Se Yuan Publisher. She is a member and has many positions. Some of her most renowned positions are president of the Lotus Gate Society, permanent mentor of the Chinese Wu Yan Association, honorary president of Shou Hu Shenqin Buddhist College, honorary abbot of Shou Zhu Se Qin Temple, abbess of Jian Yin Pure Land Temple, and honorary chairperson of the Chinese Vision Impaired Alliance. She's also the honorary director of the Preparation Office for Jian Yin Ancient Buddhist Temple. Her publications, most notably, are a commentary on the Sutra of the Eight Realizations of the Great Beings, 100 questions and answers about the Sutra of the Great Vows of Kittisabara, Bodhisattva, The Shocking Pores, Flying Red Dust, A Collection of Learning, the first collection of Stopped Cloud, the second collection of Stopped Cloud, Astonishing Fly of the Mentor for the Blind, to mention a few. Bhikshuni Ziju of China. Bhikshuni Ziju was born in He, Qinghua in July 1969 in the capital city of Ningji Province, Yinchuan, China. Her father was a worker and her mother a teacher. She has 2 older brothers and 2 older sisters. Her childhood was full of happiness, joy, harmony, and she was cherished by her family from the day she was born. She completed elementary school at the Organizational Primary School of Shi Zui Shan City, Ningzi, in 1982, and successfully enrolled in the top of the class at the lead middle school in the city. Bhikshuni Ziju received the excellent title for being #1 student in the city in 1983. In 1988, she finished high school at the Mining Bureau High School in Shi Zui Shan City. The first test of the National College Entrance Examination that she took was Chinese language. Unfortunately, just 40 minutes after the test started, she suffered from diarrhea and submitted her paper. She lacked experience with such examinations, and she was afraid to tell the examiners. This was the first test which defeated her in life. The failure shocked her and impacted her life greatly. She then calmly considered the meaning of life, the value of life, as well as her aim in life. Up until that point in life, she had been very successful, ambitious, and had desired to be elite, unlike her classmates who just wanted to find a job and marry as quickly as possible. She pondered hard and looked for a way to actualize the value of her life. One day, Bhikshuni Ziju rode on a bicycle to Beta Temple in Yinchuan for no reason. Perhaps it was because a good seed had germinated and her connection with Buddhism had ripened. Regardless, an old monk there gave her a circle of prayer beads and a book named Introducing Buddhism to Intellects. She read that book carefully. She felt as though reading that book was better than 10 years of higher education, and she started to awaken to new truths. She decided with a firm mind to leave her family and look for a place where she could practice when she was 19. Unfortunately, Bhikshuni Jiju's parents firmly refused her request. However, her will was strong as stone, and her parents had to let her go. Bhikshuni Jiju went to Zhaoju Temple in Chengdu and paid a visit to Venerable Bhikkhu Jingding. When she saw the master for the first time, he told her, "You have a very good route. Practice hard and try to attain enlightenment during this lifetime." She admired the master's compassion, virtue, the pure precepts he kept, and the achievements of his practice. As a lay practitioner, she followed the master a few years until he ordained her compassionately in 1994. The master was 93 years old at that time, and she was 25. Regarding her hair-cutting ceremony, there is an amusing anecdote. 1 year before the formal ceremony, she requested her master to ordain her, but he answered, "I do not ordain females. You should look for Bhikshuni Sa Lien." Following the master's advice, she went to Bhikshuni Sa Lien and requested ordination. However, the master told me, "I do not ordain people from other provinces except those from Sichuan." So she sadly left and went still back to Bhikkhu Jingding to practice as a lay practitioner at Zhaohui Temple. In June 1994, she knelt before the master again. "Venerable Master, can monks ordain females?" The master replied, "Yes." Then she asked, "Master, can you ordain me with your compassion and take me as your disciple?" The master said to his attendant, "Bring me a razor." She notes the master compassionately ordained her, and she had her connection ripened. In 1996, Bhikshuni Ji Hui completed her undergraduate studies from the Buddhist Academy in Minnan. Bhikshuni Ji Hui's dissertation was published in the academic papers of the Academy. Since 1998, Bhikshuni Ji Hui has taught at the Buddhist Bhikshunis College in Guangdong. She's taught many nuns the Shurangama Sutra. After 16 years of research, teaching, and writing, her book of interpretation of the Shurangama Sutra, which is 350,000 words long, was published by Faming Posh Hassan Publishing House in Taiwan in 2005. This book became one in a collection of the compassion and Dharma treasures. The Venerable notes, "I dedicate my body and mind to Buddhist temples, and I know that this is the only way that I can repay my gratitude for the Buddha's grace. For all sentient beings and Buddha Dharma, I am willing to dedicate my entire life. The vacant space is limited, while my vow is not, nor is my mind lacking in the four boundless qualities of loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity." Her Buddhist activities and achievements are numerous, in particular being awarded first place in 2012 in the test of Dharma teaching and debate in Guangdong Province and receiving first place award at the National Examination of Chinese Buddhism. And in 2013, she was employed as a professor in the Department of Religion of Zhejiang University. Bhikshuni Chu Wei of Taiwan. Bhikshuni Chu Hui is a highly respected and talented scholar in the Taiwan Buddhist academic and cultural circles. She has contributed greatly to the positive development of Buddhist culture and monastic education. She is the CEO of Fo Quan Shan Foundation for Buddhist Culture and Education. In recognition of her educational, cultural, and spiritual contributions to Taiwanese society, she received the second Taiwanese Social Peace Movement Award from the President of Taiwan. Bhikshuni Chu Hui was born to the Yo Lanzang family. She lived in the countryside, and her parents believed that girls should get an education, so she went to Lanyang Girls Senior High School and excelled in ethics as well as academics. After high school, she worked at the Taiwan Inland Revenue. During this time, she noticed the most venerable Master Xing Yun's graceful manners and wide knowledge. Therefore, she took refuge under him and translated from Mandarin to Taiwanese during Dhamma talks. Since then, she has translated, which has focused her skills in reading, logical thinking, reflex, and structural thinking. In 1965, she became a Buddhist nun under the most venerable Master Xing Yun and went to Miao Li Fa Yun Temple to receive her Bhikshuni and Bodhisattva precepts. In 1967, she and a very small number of monastic brothers and sisters started to build Fo Quan Shan Buddhist Monastery under the guidance of the most venerable Master Xing Yun's supervision. Bhikshuni Chu Hui then went to Otani University, Kyoto, Japan, to get her master's degree and became Taiwan's first bhikshuni to graduate with an international master's degree. After her return to Taiwan, she immediately took up a teaching post at the Buddhist Institute to train more professional monastics. When Venerable Master Xing Yun retired as abbot in 1985, Bhikshuni Chu Hui became the assistant manager of Fo Quan Shan Monastery. Her monastery's four main columns for building humanistic Buddhism are education, culture, social welfare, and group Dharma practice. Bhikshuni Chu Hui directs development in the field of education and culture. She served as the first director of student affairs in 1964 of Shoshan Buddhist College, later named Eastern Buddhist College. Under her leadership and efforts, the Fo Quan Shan monastic educational system has evolved into 3 levels and 11 faculties for producing highly trained bhikkhunis and bhikkhus. In 1957, she established Yi Lan Tzu Ai Kindergarten, the first Buddhist kindergarten in Taiwan, and later directed the Kaohsiung Pullman Kindergarten. She became the founding principal of Pullman Junior High, Senior High, and Night School. She also pioneered international Buddhist academic conferences, planned and run by students and volunteers. Bhikkhuni Katanyuta of Thailand. Bhikkhuni Katanyuta ordained in Bodh Gaya, India in 1998. She ordained at an international higher ordination ceremony and is a pioneering Mahayana bhikshuni in Thailand. After her ordination, she lived quietly, traveled abroad to many countries to study with international masters, and returned to Thailand to pursue a master's degree in Buddhist studies. Against the stream in a university of male monastics, she pursued her degree until she could go no further. Then she integrated her life skills as a former government school teacher and decided to offer a complete circle of love to young village children. Her village is in an industrial area of Ayutthaya province, and her compassion radiates outwards and draws to her girls and boys in need of food, clothing, and teachings, which she freely offers to them. Her social work efforts are well known in Thailand. She dons Mahayana robes and understands very deeply both Mahayana and Theravada Buddhism. She is patient, wise, compassionate, and an excellent role model. Samaneri Tamatipa of Thailand. Samaneri Tamatipa is the abbess of Tipaya Satan Tama Bhikkhuni Aramaya in Songkhla, Thailand. She holds a BA in political science from Ram Kampeng University and made further studies in radio broadcasting. As is the plight of many Thai women, she earned her money singing in a hotel and servicing male customers' desires. During this time, to ease her pain, she became addicted to drugs. She came to clarity when she saw the monotony of such a life, and at the age of 35, she ordained as an 8-precept white-robed nun. She remained ordained ever since and has been a Theravada Samaneri for 2 years now. Her journey included trying to build meditation centers in Patalung and then in Chiang Mai, which both failed. During this period, she got cancer and struggled to overcome it. Now she is successful in her establishment of a meditation center in Songkhla. Her temple focuses on providing meditative techniques for revitalizing the mind and body of cancer patients and the elderly. She creatively employs yoga, qigong, and music movement therapy. She also provides various activities to help moral and ethical development of teenagers, government officers, and the private sector. Bhikkhuni Silasupatra of Thailand. Bhikkhuni Silasupatra is a very morally courageous person. Deep in the northern forests of Thailand, near the border with Myanmar, she is building a meditation center for Thai bhikkhunis. She has overcome many obstacles in her pursuit of higher ordination and in building her forest temple. She pioneers gender equality for women in Buddhism in Tak, a remote province of Thailand. Her spiritual journey began at the age of 35 when she was ordained as an 8-precept white-robed nun, and now at the age of 50 she has been a bhikkhuni in good standing for 5 years already. She is a Tudong forest wandering master who has found peace in building her forest temple and offering Dhamma teachings to Thai teenagers. Bhikkhuni Silasupatra has reestablished the fourfold Sangha in the hearts of villagers, and with local bhikkhus supporting her vision. Bhikkhuni Silasupatra is fearless and an amazing role model for Buddhist women in the world today. Mechi Dara Janloi of Thailand. Mechi Dara Janloi ordained at the age of 21 and for decades has served the Buddha Dhamma. An expert in social work and offering Dhamma teachings, she has helped women incarcerated in prisons, the elderly, those near death in hospitals, and the poor in remote mountainous areas. She has empowered teachers, nurses, medical doctors, police officers, factory workers, soldiers, and office workers. Her outreach has also assisted families in need of counseling and orphans living in government dormitories. Teenagers across northern Thailand have benefited from her Dhamma teachings offered at high schools as well. She is a committee member of Lotus Foundation, president of Love Line Family Center number 82, radio Dhamma teacher on white wave stations 75, 88, 104, and 106, and project member of Leaves Held in One's Hand. She goes everywhere and thinks of herself as a glass half filled so that she can receive what others want to share. She receives inspiration from her parents, spiritual teachers, and from her life experiences. She gains happiness from giving to others. Yu Mei Yu Liu of Taiwan. In 1979, Yu Mei Yu Liu assisted Mr. Yu Sunag Phai in setting up a Mahayana Vihara, which is an organization specializing in Buddhist publications for free distribution. Every month it prints 2 types of sutras, elementary and advanced, and the Chi Yun magazine. She took the lead and, undeterred by hardship, planned and managed the Mahayana Vihara. She helped the setting up the Mahayana Vihara Great Compassion Social Service for visiting and helping the poor, together with Master Ben Hui. It provides Shiren scholarships, and together with Master Ching Yin, it provides the Master Hu San Scholarship. In 1983, the Mahayana Vihara organized the first Sankirtana at Phu Hui Temple. This generated a Sankirtana movement throughout Taiwan by various organizations and temples. From 1991, for the next 13 years, she led fellow Buddhists to offer Sankirtana to Bhikkhunis and Bhikkhus throughout Taiwan. On 15 October 1994, she participated in the Myanmar nationwide Sankirtana. At that event, she found out that Buddhists living in the eastern border region of Myanmar were suffering great hardship, where there is no electricity and no water supply. So she immediately provided funds to dig 2 wells, and later a fund was set up for hydroelectricity and a temple in that region. She attended the World Fellowship of Buddhist Youth General Conference in 2000, and later went to northern Thailand, Chiang Mai, and Mae Sai to offer Sankirtana. On 12 November 2009, she received the Compassionate Elders Award by the Taipei Buddhist Association in recognition of her many years of social work. For decades, she assisted Mr. Yu Shunang Fai in setting up and managing the Mahayana Vihara, making it an excellent Buddhist organization. Family and friends, locally and overseas, all praise her as a compassionate elder. Wan Hao Chang, Helen of Singapore. Ms. Helen Chang holds a BA in Policy and Political Administration from Nanyang University. This training enabled her to have a fruitful family life with one daughter and two sons, active government service as a manager, and a holistic approach to Buddhist service. Helen's government job required her to recruit and develop volunteers to meet the needs of Singaporean citizens in community clubs and residential committees. Now retired, she actively contributes her financial resources, talents, efforts, and time to Buddhist social work as follows. She volunteers since the age of 6 years old as a child at Se To Om Bhikshuni Temple. And from 1975 to 1980, she established the Buddhist Society of Nanyang University, offering Buddhist knowledge to members, starting from 6 members and increasing to 126. From 1999 to 2014, she assisted Bhikkhu Gunaratana with his yearly events at the Maha Karuna Buddhist Society. And at the Mangala Vihara Buddhist Temple, she organized the 2012 Peace Delegation to Sri Lanka. For Fo Kwan Shan, she served as an assistant to the Sri Lankan chapter from 2012 to 2014 for Fo Kwan Shan, Sri Lanka. And for the Samadhi Buddhist Society of Taiwan, she prepared in 2012 the World Peace Delegation Ceremony to Sri Lanka, which was attended by 1,000 international monastics. In 2013, in Singapore, she offered international robe offering ceremony for 60 monastics. In terms of Sri Lankan assistance, in 2010 she brought medical teams to Jaffna. In 2005 to 2009, she was part of the Tsunami Disaster Relief and Refugee Assistance Program. In 1981 to 2010, she offered food and funds for families in need. And in terms of after-school care, 2001 to 2005, she contributed her time generously to the Thompson Community Club and then to the Bukit Ho Swee community. Dr. Parichat Sawanpupa of Thailand. Dr. Parichat Sawanpupa is an assistant professor at the Development and Religion Graduate Study Program in the Humanities Department, Faculty of Social Sciences and Humanities of Mahidol University in Salaya, Nakhon Pathom, Thailand. She studied systematic theology at Lutheran School of Theology at Chicago and AMRS at University of Chicago. She has been working at Mahidol and teaches about Christianity, dialogue, and ethics. She also serves as the director of the Institute of Human Rights and Peace Studies. Here, Dr. Parichat conducts dialogues for groups of military personnel, religious leaders, both Buddhist and Muslim, and also including women and children from the 3 provinces of deep southern Thailand. These areas are encountering violent situations. Her work also focuses on reducing violence in the juvenile center in Hat Yai, Songkhla, where the violent situation has been increasing. Dialogue, which includes deep listening, is a very important tool for conflict transformation and peace building. She then connects her dialogue work with the Contemplative Education Center, a new program of Mahidol University. Through the integration of these 3 approaches, it is possible to achieve outer work and inner work with students and children in the schools and juvenile centers. The process of dialogue is complemented with exercises in spiritual practice through participatory-based learning. Through these activities and deep listening, children begin to develop the inner value of peace by heart, head, and hand. She is also the Secretary of Religions for Peace of the Interreligious Council of Thailand. This organization engages interreligious leaders and actors in the peace-building process. At the same time, she is a board member of GlobalEthics.net Foundation of Switzerland, which promotes a worldwide digital library for continuous learning. Recently, she has served as a steering committee member of a child's rights approach for faith community life. Therefore, she expects to contribute to and learn from her new involvement with the Interfaith Council on Ethics Education for Children of Arigato International. Dr. Parichat Suwanabuba is author of several books published by the Office of National Education on the need for 8 precept white-robed nuns to have access to higher education and an improved role and status.